Welcome back, students. In the last lecture, we were dealing with the depletion type of a MOSFET. Today, in this lecture, we'll see about enhancement type of a MOSFET and its characteristics. Now, what enhancement type MOSFET is all about? As I told you in the previous lecture, there is basic difference between depletion type MOSFET and enhancement type MOSFET. That channel is absent in case of enhancement type MOSFET, and channel is already present in case of depletion type MOSFET. If channel is initially absent in the enhancement type MOSFET, how the conduction of electrons happens? It happens through the channel which get diffused. So the channel once get diffused, through which the flow of electrons happens, and due to which the conduction of the MOSFET takes place. Now, if you can see this enhancement type of a MOSFET construction, this is a P type of substrate. Now here N type semiconductor layer, a terminal is drawn from a source, terminal is drawn to take a drain. Now all these things are similar. If you can observe this clearly, it is similar, but the only difference you can observe is that channel is absent here, channel is not present. Afterwards the channel get diffused. Now we'll see the drain and source connected to the n-dope region. That is the first point. Okay, the gate connect to the p-dope substrate via thin insulating layer of SiO2. Here also the layer SiO2 present, and through this SiO2 layer the gate will be connected. One more thing, this is also one kind of a MOSFET where gate is insulated from the substrate. Okay, there is no channel. Now gate connects the p-dope substrate via thin insulating layer SiO2, and there is no channel initially. The channel is absent here, but afterwards by the application of proper biasing to the gate to source, the channel get diffused. How to channel get diffused, that we will see. The n-dope material lies on the p-dope substrate that may have an additional terminal connection, just like we have seen in the previous depletion type of a MOSFET. Now what is the difference, we will see. Now for the enhancement type MOSFET, understand that VGS is always positive, VGS is always greater than 0. Now for VGS is equal to 0, obviously there will be no drain current since channel is absent. If VGS is 0, ID is 0 since no channel is present. For VDS, some positive voltage VGS equal to 0, two reverse bias junctions are significant to flow in the drain and source. Now if the VGS is greater than 0 and for VGS greater than 0, the positive voltage at the gate. Now what will happen? Due to this forward biasing of the gate to source junction, this positive terminal will repel the holes, because this is a p-type substrate which is having abundant of holes. These holes will be repelled by this positive terminal of the battery, thereby creating the vicinity. This vicinity now acts as a channel. So the voltage at which the channel get established is called threshold voltage, that we will see very soon. So once the VGS reaches to a certain level, thereafter these holes are replaced by this positive terminal of the battery, and this vicinity is created. This vicinity thereafter acts as a channel. So positive voltage holes to enter the depletion region of p-type substrate, and electrons in the p-type substrate will be attracted towards positive gate. This happens that holes are repelled, but at the same time electrons which are entering from this n-type substrate will be attracted towards this region because of the positive terminal of the battery. And for VGS less than VT, and we say that at the threshold voltage is the voltage at which the channel get established, channel get diffused. So for VGS less than VT, ID should be definitely 0 milliampere, but once the VGS reaches to the VT, the channel get established and the flow of electron will start. Okay, now we'll see the characteristics for VGS. Let's say for VGS, now we are understanding enhancement type MOSFET. Remember, VGS is always greater than 0, it is having certain positive value. Okay, now for the different positive values of VGS, if we draw the characteristics curve between VDS and ID, it will look like something like this. So for VGS equal to 3 volt, let's say the curve is showing very slow increase in the ID current. If VGS is increased to 4 volt, further it increases the ID current. ID current is, let's say for the 5 volt is, let's say 2.5 ampere, then let's say 4 ampere, then let's say 7 ampere, then let's say 10 ampere. This ID current goes on increasing depending on how much voltage, forward bias voltage, you apply across VGS. So for VGS equal to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is in the increasing order, the ID current is also increasing in the increasing order. So note, the enhancement type MOSFET operates only in the enhancement mode. This is very important point. This is very important point. Enhancement type MOSFET can be only operated in enhancement mode, unlike depletion type MOSFET, which can be operated in depletion mode as well as enhancement mode. Now VGS is always positive. That's the first point to remember. The VGS increases, ID increases, that's perfectly okay. VGS is kept constant and VDS is increased, then ID saturates, and saturation level VDS sat is reached. So that saturation level of drain to source is calculated as VD sat is equal to VGS minus VT. Why it is VGS minus VT? Because VGS is the voltage, applied voltage, and VT is the threshold voltage. So VDS saturation, according to, if we apply the KVL theorem, we get VD saturation is equal to VGS minus VT. We'll see further some curves. For this, the same curve, if we plot the graph of VGS versus ID, as VGS increases, ID increases, VGS increases, ID increases, so it is showing linear characteristics, and these characteristics we have already discussed in the previous diagram. Now to determine ID and VGS, here we have some separate formula. ID equal to K into VGS minus VT. What is VGS minus VT? VGS minus VT is your VDSS. Okay, so ID into VDSS square, or VDSS can be represented as VGS minus VT bracket square, where VT is the threshold voltage or the voltage at which MOSFET turns on, and K is a constant, can be determined using the value of the specific point. So if we calculate the value of K equal to ID divided by VGS minus VT bracket square. So when it turns on, so you can calculate the value of K and you can calculate the value of ID once we know the value of K and VGS and VT. So this is how we can calculate. Now there is further equation. For example, if we want to calculate, let's say we have ID on current of 10 milliampere, VGS on is 8 volt. We can calculate K as ID on is 8 volts. Okay, ID on is 10 milliampere and VGS on is 8 volt. VT threshold voltage if we consider as 2, if we put the value, so 10 milliampere divided by 8 volt minus 2 volt bracket square, we'll get the value of K as 0.278 into 10 raised to minus 3 ampere per volt. Okay, ampere per volt square. This is ampere per volt square. So simply by putting the value of VGS on and VT, we can calculate the value of K. So K is a constant. What is the value of K? K is a constant of proportionality, and it can be determined by using the specific point and formula. Okay, so this we have calculated. Now let's proceed for the next PPT. So note, for the values of VGS less than threshold value, the drain current of an enhancement type MOSFET is 0 milliampere, obviously, because channel is absent. Therefore, substituting the value of VGS from the general equation, ID equal to K into VGS minus VT. If we put the value of K here and we put the values of this K, and if we know the value VG, substituting and calculating, we will get the value of ID as 0.278 milliampere per volt square multiplied by 4 volt minus 2 volt bracket square. So ID we got as 1.11 milliampere. So this is one simple example just to give you the overview of how it has happened. Now once again, the symbols, like a depletion type MOSFET symbols we have gone through, here also the symbols look like same. Only difference is that in this case, since the channel is absent, it is shown by the discontinuous line, or we can say that cut lines. So these are represented by these cut lines or discontinuous line, which represents the substrate. The arrowhead once again remains the same. P channel MOSFET, if we just short it, the symbol will become. So these both the symbols are same. Both the symbols are same, except the difference that SS is shorted to the source, substrate is shorted to the source. Here also it is possible. So once again, one more assignment, you just compare the symbols of N channel enhancement type MOSFET and N channel depletion type MOSFET, P channel enhancement type MOSFET and P channel depletion type of a MOSFET. You just go through it. Now the next point is complementary MOSFET, CMOS. So complementary MOSFET is no different thing. It is just the combination of P channel MOSFET and N channel MOSFET. P channel MOSFET and N channel MOSFET, where channel is already present. So this is a depletion type. Okay, we can say that it is depletion type, where channel is already present and through this channel the conduction happens. Now here VS, so one source is connected, gate is connected to gate, drain is connected to drain, and see these sources, one source is grounded and to the one source power supply is given, and it operates depending on the same concept which we have studied in the depletion type MOSFET and enhancement type MOSFET. It is almost same. Okay, so there is no separate explanation for complementary type of a MOSFET. When the time comes when we will see the digital electronics part, at that time CMOS and its circuitry we will see and we will understand its working. Right now it's more than sufficient to understand that CMOS is the combination of PMOS and NMOS. It is nowhere a different thing. Okay, now what are the CMOS characteristics or CMOS application? It has an extensive application in computer logic design. As I told you, in the digital logic circuit we will see the CMOS, relatively high input impedance, fast switching speed, which is always desirable part of the digital logic, and lower operating power levels, CMOS logic design level. Okay, so these are some of the CMOS characteristics, or we can say the applications of CMOS. So thank you very much for this particular for this lecture, and in the next lecture we'll start with the op-amp, operational amplifier, and there we will try to understand some of the basic properties of the op-amp, and also we will see some of the basic application circuit of the op-amp. So till then, thank you very much and happy learning.